Hi, I'm talking about osmoregulation and volume regulation right now. And the difference between the two is their goal and how they go about it. So osmoregulation's goal is to keep the sodium concentration within normal limits. The volume regulation is to keep the fluid volume within regulation to perfuse all the tissues of the body. So they kind of are opposite and yin and yang to each other. So osmoregulation aims to keep sodium concentrations within normal limits. So if there's a change in the volume of water, so like polydipsia, somebody's drinking a lot, or if they're urinating a lot, or if they have a symptom like SIADH, then that'll really mess up with the volume of water in the body. So osmoregulation will try to correct it with sodium concentration changes. So the changes in the body will be detected by the hypothalamic osmoreceptors. Those osmoreceptors are going to act in order to correct the dysfunction. So they'll either increase or decrease ADH and thirst depending on if there's high or low sodium concentration. So like if you have a high sodium concentration, you have a low water content, it's going to increase your ADH and increase your thirst. So you take on more water and retain more water so that that sodium concentration will lower and become within normal limits. And so then you'll increase water intake or excretion to get back in balance. Volume regulation is for the volume. So your body's going to sense that it doesn't have enough water volume to perfuse all of its tissues. And the things that are detecting that are the carotid baroreceptors, the atria, glomerular afferent arterioles, and the macula densa, which we already talked about, those two things. And they'll send signals to the brain, and you'll get sympathetic response, and you'll get vasoconstriction and sodium excretion or retention, depending on what the state of the body is in. It's going to try to correct if it has too much water or not enough water. So, like for instance, a case where the body would have too much water would be CHF, where you're retaining a lot of water. So the body would excrete sodium to try to excrete some of that water and recorrect the balance. So that's the difference between volume regulation and osmoregulation.